So a few days ago, just like every year that Tesla does this, there was an AI day for Tesla. And Elon Musk made a claim that there was going to be a humanoid robot prototyped by 2022 in your home. What? I just wanted to talk about it and also wanted to know what your thoughts are on this matter. Put them down in the comments, but here are my thoughts about what Elon Musk said during that particular presentation. So, iRobot comes to mind, Ex Machina comes to mind, Terminator. You know all the pop culture. We have been seeing humanoid form robot for years, decades. A small wonder, the Jetsons, Terminator, all of this stuff that I personally grew up with. And I always thought that we would have these kind of robots in our future, but that was the time before I started working on AI myself. I do have some thoughts about their practicality, but in the past I worked in the field of AI and machine learning for about 7 to 8 years. I specifically worked on humanoid robots, and I was trying to make them do certain things with their sensors, with their body in a human form. And it's crazy how dumb these robots are. But for these particular presentations, I do have mixed feelings about this. I know that this is going to be something that is gonna come to our future. Someone is gonna make humanoid robot because it has been dominating the future version of the pop culture for years at this point. So it was inevitable. But I do have questions and concerns, and I kind of also can provide some clarifications from what and why kind of point of view. So let's go over them real quick first. So let's start with why, and specifically why Tesla is doing this. Because as you know, Tesla is a car company. This is what Elon Musk had to say about this particular thing.
Basically, if you think about what we're doing right now with the cars, Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robotics company because our cars are like semi-sentient robots on wheels. It kind of makes sense to put that onto a humanoid form. We think we'll probably have a prototype sometime next year that basically looks like this. And it's intended to be friendly, of course, and navigate through a world built for humans and eliminate dangerous, repetitive, and boring tasks. We're setting it such that it is, at a mechanical level, at a physical level, you can run away from it.
It is quite interesting, isn't it? If you look at every other car that exists, they exist for building cars. It has hundreds, if not thousands of parts within the car. Tesla, however, is much more different than every other car that existed before Tesla. I do own a Tesla Model Y 2021, and one of the main reasons why I bought this, one of the main selling point that I was using, especially to people that I needed to sell this idea to, that we are buying a Tesla. I think you know who I'm talking about. The main selling point of the car was the fact that it is updated over the air through software and internet and all the features that you would get normally on computers. So what do I mean by that? So for example, let's say if BMW tomorrow comes with a way to make your car become more efficient or go more faster, 0 to 60, then what you have to do, say 5 years down the road, you're gonna have to buy the model of the car that comes with that particular performance tuning built into the car. That is not necessarily the case for Tesla. Most of these things that are present in Tesla as features are actually softwares that are handling all these different cool features that already exist within the hardware. For example, you don't have to have self-driving as you are buying the car. You can buy it anytime you want. I'm talking about full self-driving feature. It is a software that you can update at any point after you buy the car. All you have to do is push a button on your phone, it gets that update. Or if there is another kind of new thing that has come out as a software feature for the newer versions of Tesla, just like if you are using a Mac or if you are using Windows and there is a new version of operating system that comes out, you can simply download without having to buy a new computer entirely. That's exactly the model that Tesla runs on. It is fully powered by the software that it uses. It is not just the car. The car is just something it happens to be. It is mostly about the software. And the best part about that fact that it is a software car rather than like say a hardware car is the fact that it is also learning how to navigate through the road and the environment, and it learns every single day from other drivers. It doesn't really have to just learn from you. It learns from millions of people that use Tesla. And if its self-driving becomes as good as it is promised, means that it has the ability to avoid any mistakes that it have made in the past by any number of users that made that mistake, so that it will not repeat the same mistake again in the future. Can you say something about any other car that exists with a human drivers behind it? Basically where the future is leading to. Now if you think about that, scanning the environment, gathering all of this data, moving forward with the software as a package in a wheels, exactly what Elon Musk said is Tesla is just a robot on wheels navigating to the world. And if you think about it, the next natural progression from there would be to navigate in a world that is much more finer detailed than the road, where you probably just have limited number of things that you have to understand and do, to more fine-grained environment like in a house or just living with another people doing mundane tasks. That's exactly what Tesla bot promises to do boring mundane tasks for you. And the biggest factor in AI is not necessarily the engineering part of it or the money aspect of what it takes to implement it. It's a lot about the data that you can train your models on. And Tesla being out there in the world collecting data from all its customers, using that data to train the model for this humanoid kind robot is probably the best platform any commercialized company has right now at their disposal. And it's just gonna grow at an exponential rate. The more people buy Tesla, the better the AI that they are gonna implement on is going to be it a humanoid robot or any other form factor. It's just gonna get better and better. So for that reason, the question isn't why Tesla, it is more about why not Tesla. So another question is why a humanoid robot? Now this is where I have certain issues around this, for the fact that I worked on a humanoid robot like I mentioned earlier, and thing is absolutely insanely difficult to make it work, specifically if you are trying to make a general AI or artificial general intelligence. AGI is what is normally known as. Elon Musk during that presentation said that it is supposed to be doing generic, mundane, everyday tasks for you. Do you know how difficult it is to implement that on a robot? To give you some context around this, I have a couple of toddlers at home. One of them recently learned how to walk, the other has been walking for a couple of years at this point. But it is very hard for toddlers to learn how to walk, just because the hardware isn't fully formed. They need to develop muscles and all of that, but also the factor is they need to learn how to walk. But best part about it, for the human babies like that, they are wired to learn these things. They understand inherently because Mother Nature gave it to them. They are pre-wired, pre-programmed to start walking at a certain age, and that's what they do. However, walking is obviously a mundane task. The problem is other mundane tasks that exist outside walking, like that is probably the first step. literally, that you take in your progress and to become a human. The other mundane task, repetitive task that you do every single day is even more difficult for these toddlers to learn. None of my toddlers do any other mundane task I tell them to do. It is very difficult to teach them, and they are pre-wired to learn these things. If I tell my older one to take a trash and put it in a trash box, he will throw it somewhere else for some reason, right? So extremely difficult to teach these toddlers who are pre-wired to do this. Now AI, on the other hand, they are not even wired. There is nothing there. So you have to understand how you can wire it so that it can learn this kind of mundane, boring task like we define for our everyday life that we consider mundane. You have been living for a couple of decades, 3 decades to get to the point where you are right now, to think that just doing simple mundane tasks like washing dishes and so on are fairly simple thing to do. But for a robot, it needs to learn all of that shit. If you have seen any advanced humanoid robots, they are nowhere close to getting that kind of general intelligence to do this sort of thing by themselves. It's kind of painful to see them try. So why really, why do we need a humanoid robot to do this? Why don't we just specialize tools? Well, there is also argument to be had that these specialized tools are just diverting from the real problem, because you are simply creating more and more tools. The idea behind humanoid robot is you create one tool that is capable of doing the things that you personally would rather not do. Here are some of the things that I would like the robot to do if I were to buy this robot when it comes out. For example, take out my trash. Just from inside the house to the container that is outside in my driveway, and from driveway all the way to the road where the garbage truck is gonna pick it up the day it comes. Can it do that? Or take the dishes from the sink and put it in the dishwasher. Can you load it? Or more importantly, that exhausts me every single day, is can you rearrange my home, clean up every single mess of 2 toddler destroyed house every single night? If you can do that, that is worth the price that I'm willing to pay for the robot when it comes out. Or can it cut my grass, maintain my lawn? What can it do? What are the mundane tasks that it does that will free up my time to do other things? And the thing is, giving sentience to this robot, we have seen this a million times in a lot of pop culture references. Giving sentience to the robot is probably one of the hardest things that we'll probably do as humans. And it is also most likely going to be the last thing that we do as humans as well. It's probably going to be the last discovery or invention that we make, just for the fact that if robots are already more efficient than humans at doing certain things, they are just gonna get better and better at what they do, and they will be able to improve themselves without our help. And I do have some ideas around technological singularity, but that's a completely separate topic, which I'm gonna post pretty soon on that as well. Or if it is already in my channel, it's gonna be somewhere linked either in the description or somewhere here or in the comments. And having said all of that, I think a lot of Elon Musk's project in the past, I've said similar things. Insane. It cannot be done. And time again, I've been sitting in front of my computer watching the live stream of these building-sized rockets just take off and come back down, land on a platform in the middle of the ocean like some kind of Expanse sci-fi booster rockets, which blows my mind. It is one of the most fantastic things that I've ever seen in my entire life. So that's there, and I never thought that was ever gonna be possible in my lifetime. So that happened, so I do have some faith. If there is any company or any one single person that is positioned to make this into a reality, it's probably Tesla and Elon Musk with the technology that they are developing. In the process, I do see a lot of my fellow engineers and scientists spending countless nights, months to an end, years to an end, just to make this happen. So good luck to you if you're working on this project. I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts? Do you think this is something that can be prototyped in 2022? That I find extremely unlikely. I don't think it's gonna happen by 2022, maybe 2025, or somewhere after 2022 is just a few months away. Anyways, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. And do you think it's gonna be possible? And if you like this video, give that like button a click. I'll be making other videos related to science and technology in this particular channel. It's a brand new channel. I love talking about this stuff. So if you'd like to hear more about this kind of stuff, give that like button a click, subscribe. I'll come up with new video every week. So really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you guys in my next video. Bye.